All right, let me walk you through the process behind this piece. I first started exploring this style after being commissioned for some basic designs in this genre. I decided to dive deeper into it and push the style further, bringing a fresh approach to the table. I developed it by adding my own touch: crosses, daggers, swords, and symbolism in general. I clearly remember coming across a photo on Pinterest, a girl wearing a hoodie with a cross in a similar pattern. But I gave that pattern my own twist, adding a bit more ornamentation. I really enjoyed working on this piece because from the design stage, it was pure improvisation. I just let the flow guide me, making sure not to overcomplicate the ornaments or make them too wide, especially considering it was for a vertical area. I aimed to give it that Gothic touch, sharpening the tips of the ornamental lines. I wouldn't exactly call it cybersigillism, although I drew some inspiration from it. I think it turned into something more like structured ornamentation, something along those lines. Once the design was finished on the iPad, it was just a matter of finding the right client. My client already had an idea in mind for that whole area. She was originally thinking of just a few lines. But when I presented her with the design, she was delighted, and we booked the session straight away. The stencil process was traditional: stencil paper, printer, and pen. Once the lines were traced and the stencil was cut out, applying it wasn't too complicated. For large pieces, 20, 30, 40, even 50 centimeters, which is the largest I've done, I split the stencil into two sections, joining them like a small puzzle. I start by positioning the stencil, marking and aligning the area with a marker. Then I shave and thoroughly clean the skin with ethanol. After that, I apply the stencil gel, and using the marker references, I place the stencil carefully. This time, I began with the upper part. Normally, I follow the flow of the design and what the area itself calls for. Then I move on to the lower section. It's important to make sure the stencil is properly positioned. You've got to look at it from different angles, both with your eyes and through photos, to make sure it's perfectly straight, especially when the piece needs to be perfectly aligned, like in this case. Unless, of course, you're going for a particular tilt or creative angle. Don't be afraid or lazy to wipe it off and reapply the stencil until it's right. It's simple. Ethanol removes it instantly. Once the stencil is in place, I wait about 10 to 15 minutes, 20 tops, to let it dry properly. During that time, I finish setting up the work table. And once it's dry, it's ready to be executed. Check out part 2 to see how the tattooing process went and how my client healed her piece. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps me a lot.